The Suicide Squad is a brand new movie written and directed by James Gunn, and it stars a whole bunch of people, including Margot Robbie, Idris Elba, John Cena, Joel Kinnaman, Viola Davis, Sylvester Stallone of all people. A few others that don't really have too much to do. And it's about another group of really bad guys who are in prison, who are recruited by Viola Davis's character, Amanda Waller, to basically lead a mission and hopefully get some time off of their prison sentences. And this is a reboot, sequel, mixture of the first Suicide Squad movie. And I don't know, I wasn't really looking forward to this as much as other people have. First off, I was not really a big fan of the first Suicide Squad movie. I kind of had the same issues as everyone else. Basically, some characters are just underused. It didn't know what it wanted to be. It clearly wanted to be rated R and wanted to be PG, but it was PG-13. And I didn't really care for too many of the characters. And so even with someone like James Gunn directing it, even after directing the Guardians of the Galaxy movie, it still didn't really interest me too much. Again, I was just more thinking, is this just going to be another Suicide Squad, or are we just doing this all over again, even with a brand new cast? And the trailers looked fine. They didn't look bad by any means. And so overall, I gotta say, this movie was actually really good. I'm actually really surprised by how much I enjoyed this movie. This movie is fun, it's funny, it's action-packed, it's surprisingly well made. I like a lot of the characters in the movie. So let's dive into this, and this will be a spoiler-free review, because I'll try to do a spoiler review of this movie, because there's a lot I kind of want to talk about with spoilers, at least. So let's just dive right into it. Most of the performances in this movie are actually really good. A lot of the characters from the first movie that I kind of had mixed feelings about, like Viola Davis and Joel Kinnaman, I really liked their performances this time around. I thought Viola Davis as Amanda Waller was really evil. She did that role really well. Also, Joel Kinnaman, who I didn't really care for in the first Suicide Squad movie, I thought he was really good. Margot Robbie, I think she's getting better as Harley Quinn goes on. I think this is her best performance as the character so far. Not necessarily her best story, but that's a spoiler. Also, Idris Elba, I also really liked him as Bloodsport. I forgot the actor's name, David Dastmalchian, the guy who played Polka Dot Man. I thought he was really good. I thought he was really funny. And the actress who plays Ratcatcher 2, I thought she was really good. She was said to be the heart and soul of the movie, and she really is. She's really good in this movie. Also, Sylvester Stallone was surprisingly funny as Anaue, or King Shark. They don't really call him King Shark in this movie. They call him by his actual name in this movie. But yeah, most of the performances in this movie are really, really good. Also, they had a great dynamic throughout the entire movie. It's really good. They definitely have a better dynamic than the team from the first movie. Also, the movie looks incredible from every way possible. The action scenes are really fun. They're really inventive. They're really interesting. They're also well shot. They're well choreographed. They're really surprisingly fun. It looks great. The cinematography is really great too. The first one was kind of really dark and really gritty. This one's a lot more bright and a lot more colorful. And despite, being a lot more bloody than the last movie, it actually surprisingly worked. Also, the soundtrack I thought was actually really good too, considering, again, James Gunn directed it. The first Suicide Squad movie had an alright album. The music here is also really good. It's not just relying on old music, but newer music, and it's just all the scenes, all the music works really well throughout the entire movie as well. Also, the visual effects are amazing in this movie. Mainly with Starro in this movie. That was really impressive. And also considering that a lot of the visuals in this movie are actually practical, that's also really impressive. Obviously, Starro was not practical, but still. That was a lot of fun. Also, this movie is surprisingly very funny. I was laughing a lot throughout this movie. Usually with comedies, it's oh, that joke is funny, that joke is not, this joke's not, just that joke's funny, this joke wasn't. I was laughing for most of the jokes, and everyone is surprisingly funny in this movie. Also, the commentaries in this movie, they work for the most part. Sometimes it's oh, I see where you're going there, and then it kind of I don't want to say it takes a 180 with its commentary, but more it drops it, but at the same time, it's like, you could have done something a little better to kind of wrap that up. Which kind of leads me into my problems with this movie. First off, it kind of does the same thing that the first Suicide Squad movie did, in that it has an underwhelming use of a lot of side characters. And that's kind of disappointing. It's like, oh, I kind of want to know more about them. Or even like someone like Jai Courtney as Captain Boomerang. Unfortunately, he's not in the movie very much. But that's a spoiler, I'll get to it. And it's like, oh, that's really cool, I want to see more. Oh, never mind. I guess I'm not. Oh well. And also, even though I laughed for the most part, there were a few times where I think it did cross the line. And, James Gunn, obviously the controversy with his Twitter, and if you can at least get past the first major joke in this movie, you'll be fine. At first, it kind of took me a while to get into that, because it was a line that kind of crossed. It was a line that was crossed for me personally. I didn't really care for that. Also, I was kind of worried that it was just going to like copy Guardians of the Galaxy, but it doesn't. But it does kind of copy one of the main plots of the original movie of, how like Will Smith is kind of like doing this, Idris Elba's kind of doing the same thing. And while they do change it enough, it's not really enough to go, oh, you did something new and interesting. No, it really isn't, unfortunately. Also, at times, the tone may be a little uneven, because there's like a very serious moment in like towards the end of the movie, and then it kind of has like this lighthearted moment with King Shark right afterwards. You'll know it when you see it. It kind of just felt uneven at times, unfortunately. So, overall, The Suicide Squad it's a blast. It's a lot of fun. A lot of the characters work, their dynamic works, the soundtrack is great, the action's great, the cinematography's great, visually it's great. A lot of performances, again, are fantastic. I just wish that, kind of wish they did more with certain characters. It's weird. At the same time, it's like, I know some of these characters just were thrown in for no reason. And I kind of wish they were in the movie more, but at the same time, it's like, everything else works so well. Why do I need them? I don't know. But yeah, some of the characters don't work. Sometimes it does cross the line, which I guess I should have expected. And also, I guess like the tone is a little uneven at times, but overall, it's still a lot of fun. I'll give The Suicide Squad 3 out of 4 stars. See it. So, did you see The Suicide Squad? What did you think of it? Also, who's your favorite member of The Suicide Squad? Comment down below, subscribe to the channel. This is Pat, and stay safe.